Alright, good morning guys, Choxie here. Long time no talk. I know it's been a while since I actually made a regular video. But there's just one thing that did get pretty much blog posted today. What was announced back at Gamescom during the World Tournament Series. This is going to be the PvP Leagues. Something I'm actually very excited for, coming from someone who does not like PvP too much, because you know, the lack of rewards, it's just boring, it's the same thing over and over again, you're not really progressing in anything, honestly. And here they're bringing us this league system. So what this league system is going to do, it's going to probably bring back a lot of people to PvP. This is kind of like how when they bring unranked and ranked queues to PvP, people actually came back to that, but then it kind of died down. But now this is not as empty as that. So for people who didn't like the old PvP where there's no rewards, all that fun stuff, here's a good chance for people to actually come back into the game. So as I mentioned, this is going to be a great system to bring anyone who either didn't like PvP or disliked how PvP was back into the mix of things. So as you can see here, now we're going to have leagues or league divisions. How they're going to work is basically when you win a match, you will get, they call them pips. So when you win a match, you're guaranteed a pip. And this is basically like your EXP to get to the next division. Also, they also mentioned that you don't have to win a match to get a pip. Sometimes you could lose a match, but you would still get a pip. Basically, if you could meet the score threshold, and this isn't your personal score. Let's say you have 200 points. You're like, okay, I'm probably past the threshold. I can just AFK because we're losing anyways, and we're gonna not probably get anything. But no, it's based on your team score. So if your team does well in a loss, like if it was a really close match, we will probably get a pip. So your hard work will be rewarded. But if you just say fuck this shit, AFK, you will not be rewarded for that, even if because you're just being so rude about it. But as you can see, the divisions here, it seems like they go from this stuff. So the Amber division is the first division. This division will be where you cannot lose pips and you can't derank because that's the lowest one. You're technically bronze tier, so you can only progress in the Amber division. That's your beginner division. Next up, it seems like it's going to be Emerald. So Division 2, it's going to be the Emerald division, then and then the Sapphire division. So this is Division 2 and 3. These divisions respectively you can lose pips, but you can't derank. So you can't go from Emerald to Amber or Sapphire to Emerald, Sapphire to Amber. You can't derank, but you can lose pips. So you can progress, and then you can get like knocked back a few ticks. So that's just the downside of that, guys. Next one, it's gonna be the 4 and 5 divisions, which is Ruby. It looks like a Ruby and Diamond, respectively. This is the intense division, whereas everything can happen. You can lose pips and you can derank, so you can go from Diamond to all the way back to Sapphire, if anything. So that's where everything gets really, really intense, and where you have to actually work your hardest to actually get your progression up. And last but not least, it's the Legendary rank, or the Legendary League. So this actually is comparable to something like Hearthstone. If anyone doesn't play Hearthstone, there is the Legendary rank. It's literally Legend rank. So once you break Diamond into this next rank, you are officially a Legend. You are a Legend rank. If it works just like Hearthstone, you cannot derank back into Diamond. You can't go that low anymore. You will just derank within the Legendary box. But in the Legendary box, there's going to be like maybe a whole bunch of other players, so the numbers will always go around. Because in Hearthstone, you could be a Legendary rank, but you could be rank 1500. And then you could, fight that Legendary rank 3, if anything. So you're basically in this Legendary box. You just, you're stuck in there, but you'll always be a Legend, technically. That's when you're going to be able to fight up the ladder to be the very best in the Legendary box. I'm going to call it the box here, guys, so that's how that's going to work. But that's basically the ranks that we have right now. So if you do get Legend rank, this is where you can get, I guess they're giving out like these medals. So these medals are going to be comparable to like the ones next to your name if you have map completion. Actually, this is something I wanted to bring up too, as well, is that they actually mentioned this way back then, that they were going to bring back, I think this is back in 2013, when they said they're going to bring back, or bring into the game more medals and more prestige next to your name. This has not happened at all until now. We have this, and we also have this is a little sneak peek. In Heart of Thorns, there's going to be like a little icon next to your name if you get that one mastery thing where you can party with people, get them speed boost. I forgot what it was called. It was interesting though, but this will give more prestige to some people who actually do reach this this high tier of play. So I like it. This is kind of like the prestige I kind of wanted, and this will give people something to push for. It's a goal, basically. Not as of right now with PvP, there's no goals. Their best goal is to just PvP, wreck people, get a couple of boxes of loot, which aren't really great at all anyways, but you're not really working towards anything. So this is a great way for people to work towards something and actually show it off, I want to say. And I really like this, and this will bring someone like me who has said many times before on my streams and whatnot that I do not like PvP. But this will probably entice me to get back in there and get back into the PvP scene, so totally looking forward to that. Let's talk about some of the rewards they're going to be giving out. So on top of like the prestige titles, a little medal by your name if you reach legend, it seems like they upped the gold from the current, like, the current PvP rewards. As you can see here in this little screenshot, it says total coins 2 gold, 41 silver, 81 copper. That is a lot of gold. That is a lot of gold, considering that as of right now in structured PvP, if you do unranked arena or ranked arena, you only get 30 silver, win or loss. Or actually no, we win 30 silver, lost 15 silver. That's not even a whole gold, and they're giving you pretty much 2.5 gold for this stuff. So this actually could be enticing to people who do want a little bit more or something, because even as myself, I found like the rewards are still pretty lacking, especially in the gold section. I mean, if you do PvP all day every day, you might feel the difference, because you get like, there's a maximum amount of gold you can get per day before the resets. It's like 15 gold or something. But if you do the math, that's almost 30. That's like 40, 50 plus matches. I don't know if anyone PvPs that much to reach the gold limit, but that is theirs. So the gold limit, I mean, the gold increase, actually for me especially, might be enticing to get some nice cash in your pockets, if anything. Next up is going to be the Wings of Glory. So this, as in the screenshot, there's a new back piece. It seems like what they're doing with this back piece system is that it looks like they're going to swap it out every so often, because they said they're going to be adding other like rewards, basically, because every time you win a match, you will also get league tokens, which will be after you win a match in your league, you get these tokens to spend on some cool stuff. But as of right now, it seems like it's just an upgrade item. I don't know if it's going to be, you can use it in the shop or anything, which will be really nice to be able to. But as of right now, it looks like you can only upgrade these wings to your liking. So the more league matches you do, the better your wings will look, and the higher you get, and you'll get that really cool looking back piece. But it did mention too that there will be new items released in the future, and these new items will be discounted, just like the Black Lion skins. How when they release a new Black Lion skin, it's 1 ticket. But if you guys wait too long, or if you guys want it down the line, it's going to cost more and more. It's like 3 tickets or 5 tickets. So people who were there during the release will benefit from getting it at the cheapest rate. So that's pretty cool. It's just for people who actually are active and do stay in the game. They're rewarded with it. Whereas people who come in later, sure, it might suck that you have to spend like triple the amount of tokens per se to get that same back piece that guy got for 5 tokens or whatever. But it makes it look like that guy was in the game for a long time. So I do like these rewards. Maybe they'll bump in a little bit more things, because as of right now, everyone kind of hates the current rewards, because it's literally, hey, here's a loot box. Oh, here's some dungeon tokens. Here's a little level up tome, which are nice and niche, but I think something to work towards, a progressing reward, what I want to say, is pretty cool. So that's also it. So other small thing to talk about is the Dishonor. So as of right now, I don't think Dishonor is in the game right now. I think it was in the testing phase, but you got kicked out, or it's still being worked on. But right now, Dishonor will be back in the game, which happens when you either leave a game, you cancel queue, so when your queue pops in, you cancel it, or if you AFK in game. Although I don't know how exactly the AFK part is going to work. I mean, the guy could just run in circles. I don't know how that's going to work out, though. But I think from what I understand, it's just going to be if the guy is just totally AFK, went to go, walk the dog or something for some reason, then he will get Dishonor in that. But what Dishonor is basically if you leave a game, you will get Dishonor, which disables your ability to get back into queue. So let's say you rage quit, or let's say you did AFK for 1 match, you'll get maybe a Dishonor of maybe 3 to 5 minutes, I want to say, to be safe. And if you do that again next game, maybe go up to like 15 or 20 minutes. And if you do it again, it'll go up maybe to like an hour, and probably to the point where you can't even queue for a whole day. But this Dishonor does build up with each other. Not in such a small time frame window. I think even like the next day, or maybe if you play like 8 hours later and you leave another game, you will get hit with another increase in timeout. I don't know the exact numbers, but we'll see what happens. But that's just how it's gonna work. The more you leave, the more you AFK, the more you BM, the more your timeout will be. So this will help keep those rage quitters and those really douchebag people out of the queues, and you guys will have a better PvP experience overall. But like I said, I don't know about the AFKing part. You know, you have those people who just stay in spawn and then like just spam heal and things like that. I don't know how that's going to be affecting anything, but that'll be a welcome change to PvP, and it'll make the community a little better, if anything. Not completely, but it'll do the job from what I see so far. But last but not least, there will be the guild team leaderboards, or the guild teams in the new PvP leagues. So what this is basically when you queue up with your team or your guild, so you guys can make a guild PvP team to represent your guild into this leaderboard. So I don't know if there's going to be able to be multiple teams or multiple rosters. It doesn't really clarify that here. But you will have your team for your guild, and you will fight in PvP against other guilds. So you can guarantee it's going to be 5-man premates. It's going to be guaranteed communication. So these matches will be pretty intense, actually. And this will actually kind of put people into the perspective of having like a real like competitive team. Because beforehand, I'll go over this later, yes, there was the whole problem with, you know, 5-man premade against 5 pugs, or 5-man premade against duo pug. And it sucks because you know for a fact that there is a better, higher chance of winning if you're the 5-man team. I mean, you could be a great duo team, and that pug could be really, really good. But the guys with communication will always win. The coordination's there, and they know what they're doing. Like, they know what is where, who is where, and who is doing what. You know what I mean? So these leaderboards are going to be great for the people who want to actually progress themselves as a competitive team, because as you can see here, you can Ainit is looking at leaderboards, and maybe if you're top 5 of the guild leaderboards, you have a chance at actually going, not necessarily esports, but that's what they're trying to push too, is that you will be able to attend maybe some of these really big events, maybe even up to like the World Tournament Series next year in 2016, which will be really cool. It's like, okay, you guys work so hard, we recognize your great skills, your great coordination with your team. Maybe we'll put you up here with the high guys, like, you know, the Absurd and TCG and ETC, like that. So that's really cool to look at, and I think it's going to be great for the game. Moving straight into the negatives, though, like this transitions so well into the negatives. The biggest one that I'm complaining about, that everyone's complaining about, is that there's no separation, no mention, anyways, of the separation between duo and SoloQ and 5-man premades. So what I'm talking about is that, let's say you and a friend queue up, and then you queue up with maybe like a 3, or another duo queue with you know, on your team, and then you have a pug. So that's basically two teams of two squads of 2 and a pug on your team, and then for some reason you're queued up against the 5-man premade, which sucks because they have the communication, they're all coordinated. You know, you don't know what you're doing. You can't talk to the pug. You can't mind. You know, you can't telepathically talk to that pug. He's gonna do whatever he wants. I mean, you can text chat, but that just kind of makes things a little harder. You're taking your hands to type instead of playing the game. So the separation, I really hope Ainit looks into it and makes a separate solo duo queue and team queue for PvP. I don't see what's so hard about it, considering that when this PvP League thing launches, there will be an influx. There will be an explosion of people who will try it out. But to have it where people would probably be very just degraded and very embarrassed, and I don't know what I'm trying to say right now, but you know, people will just get very low morale basically when they have to match up against that 5-man premade who just wrecked their team 500-0 because they knew what they had communication, they rotated well, and you guys were just like, you know, sitting in spawn and getting wrecked by everyone on points because no one wants to help out. Everyone's doing their own thing. So I really hope Ainit looks at it, and please make a solo duo queue separate from team queue. Begging you guys, just do this. You will not regret it. I don't see a downside in this. I'll only see negatives if this stays as is. That's just me though. I'm not a PvP player, but I know for a fact that something like this should be in the game because it's just something that's worked out in many other games. Moving on with negatives though, big one is that this just took too long to come out. Come on. I remember when the PvP leaderboards came out and everyone climbed the ladder and whatnot, but that thing was wonky. Like, you would have that one guy with 11 wins and 4 losses and still be top 10. And then I'm over here with maybe like 80 wins and like 40 losses. I have a pretty good win rate. That's like 60% or 80%. I don't even know math anymore. And I'm over here in rank 763. Like, it made no sense with the MMR system. So, with this system, it's much more clean. It's much more, you know, you can predict where you're going to be going. It's going to be really nice to see people actually climbing ladders and whatnot. I literally remember sometimes when I would like win a match and I would actually drop a couple ranks. Now, when you win a match, you know you're progressing forward. So, I just feel like it just takes too long. Come on. Like, League has this, I mean, Hearthstone has, and it feels like they're kind of copying from other games. Since like they have the legend rank and that's a Hearthstone thing, the League rank literally, you know, League made it up, and it's like we're piggybacking on things like this. But it is a good system, but I feel like it was just like copy pasta kind of thing. I wish Guild Wars 2 was the first to kind of come up with this thing, but you know, time will only tell when things get released and thought up with. And also one huge glaring like little, I don't want to say feature, but one huge glaring thing that's going to be coming to the game is that if you start the season and then you play the season and let's say you hit legend rank like number 3, you're like the 3rd best PvPer in Guild Wars 2. What happens next month? You're back to 0. You start back at square one. You don't get any kind of bonus. You don't get any kind of like reimbursement for your work. You start back at square one. And I personally think it should work like Hearthstone because it's such a great system where people, if you work hard, you'll get some kind of thing back. Like actually back then when I got to rank like maybe 12 on Hearthstone, when I started the new season, I was at like rank 19 or 18. I didn't have to start back at rank 25. I had some, and I saved me some time. My hard work and dedication made it so that when I come back to the game, when I, you know, start a fresh season, I know where my personal position is, and I can work towards that either that same or better rank, because this also would affect the whole community, the whole PvP community, because let's say you have those legends up there and then they come back to square one, they're gonna wreck everyone. Sure, you know, they know they're good, they will definitely be back at the legend rank maybe, but you know, it's a waste of time. It's gonna take a while to get back to at least, you know, back where they were. I just wish there was some way to continue progressing, because basically what they're doing is that you're gonna go forward and you're gonna go all the way backwards. It would be cool. Wouldn't it be nice if you worked forward and then got kicked back just a little bit, like a smidgen, like maybe halfway, and then go back up and then halfway, so you can keep building upon what you did, and you can always, you know, that you will always be within the same skill group as you were when you were playing the game the first time, because it's gonna suck when you're gonna either be matched up against really new players back when you're at square one, or you're gonna be matched up with the really new players on your team, and then, you know, that's what's kind of holding you back. I mean, you can only do so much by yourself, but like I said, like it just sucks that you're starting all the way back at square one. So if I know maybe the blog post isn't clarifying much here, but this is what we're seeing, this is what I'm seeing, and this is what a lot of people are bringing up as issues about the new leagues. But overall, in my personal opinion, I will be trying it out regardless. I just really hope they consider things like the SoloQ, the starting back from scratch and things like that. I would really love if they actually looked into this and maybe actually responded to it, or you just threw it in the game right when it came out, because that'll be really exciting. Alright guys, but other than that, that's all I have to say. If you guys have any more questions, comments, or anything to add to this, please leave it in the comments. I will make it my best, in my best interest to reply to everything, because I really want to hear everyone's opinion on this, since I might be PvPing a little more often than World vs. World roaming, because of how, you know, you guys knew my opinion on the new Borderlands map. It's not that great, but we will be roaming, but I'm going to be trying PvP as well out if this gets implemented in the way I kind of want it to be. So later, guys. Peace out. I will see you guys later, and you guys have a good one. Peace.